Very elegant, 10 group ones, and now the greatest of them all, the Melbourne Cup. Goes to Cleary, Nathan Cleary! Wow! There is one great sound. Love and Willie, yes he will. Will he do it? Wins the Trackside New Zealand Derby.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome back to episode 11, I think it is, of Good Punts now, which is pretty good. Shit, we've hit the jackpot this time. We got Ferg joining us all the way from Yucktown, Queensland. How are you, mate?
Hey, come on. Thanks for having me back, brother. Appreciate it.
Nah, it's all good. It's
Good
good.
to be back.
You did good last time, so I thought we'd keep you on.
Oh, appreciate it. Was it that 1 and 5 same game? Quinella hit?
Cornella.
Hey, you
Oh,
want my
what is
stubby
that?
caller?
Oh, what is that?
I'm going all out for you, mate. I'm going all out for you.
That's sweet. Before we jump into it, I'll just give a quick shout out to our sponsors. It's Tough Luck Workwear. If you use the code Good Punts with a capital G, get 10% off your merch. Some pretty good shit on there, so go and check it out. Then also Fit Zone, because Lenny keeps his studio going, even though he's a bit of a prick. Better shout him out. So shout out Fit Zone. Sweet. So we jump straight into some Good Punts. These are just the slips you guys send in of any winnings you guys had over the last week. You said you had one to bring up first, Ferg, if you want to.
Yeah, sweet, bro. Had one person message in. Just happens to be my brother-in-law. His name is Sammy Moore. He backed Parramatta head-to-head at $2.50. Newcastle Knights head-to-head at $2.60. Roosters head-to-head at $3.30. And then the Raiders to beat the Wars at $2, giving him an odds of $51. He had 50 on the nose. $2,500.
Shit. He loves an upset then.
Yeah, well, the funny thing, I said, fucking hell. He said, yeah, that was after the Dogs got pumped the other night. Thought all the underdogs might get up, so I thought I'd put it on. Too bad I didn't do that for my tips, though.
It's always that way, eh?
That's a good 50, though. Gee, I'd rather have the 2.5K than the perfect round tipping. That's mad.
For sure.
Couldn't
Would have been a bit nervous that
Wars
last game.
Yeah, I know. Especially if the Warriors had a one and he'd have messaged me that bet slip, I would have just given it to him too. That's what you get. That's what you get. What about you, brother? You get some people
Sweet.
riding?
Yeah, so we had the one come in from Dana Smith. Bit of a jammy one, so it was only $1 bet. Knights 13 plus, Fletcher Sharp anytime, into Roosters 13 plus and Kale Ero anytime. So that returned $400 off $1.
So it's 400 to 1 odds.
Yeah, 400. Crazy.
Oh, fucking gotta love those $1 hits sometimes, eh? Oh.
He was saying to me he wished he chucked an extra zero on, but fuck, you just gotta take it, eh?
4K. Oh man, like to do 13 plus as well. Like, you know, I had my wits if they were going to win, but geez, I did not think it was going to be. Yeah, good on him.
Sure.
Great bet.
Trying to back it up this week, I bet. No, hopefully he doesn't rinse store. Hopefully he takes it out.
Yeah, $51 bets will go a long way though.
Sweet. So let's jump into some questions. We actually got a shitload this time. Which is...
Oh, I love it. Love a good question.
First one is from S Young 1903. What's our first try scorer predictions for Origin? You go first, Ferg.
Ooh, I've been calling it ever since I've seen the team list and the team. So I'm backing Latrell big for this game. So it's hard for me not to back for first try. I think they'll definitely be looking to use him to break the line, and I think the try will come either in and around him, if not him. So backing big old Latrell first try scorer for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I don't mind that one at all.
Even though another one for Queensland. trying to use this here, not this here. So
I might switch that on you actually and go a Queensland player.
Oh,
even though I'm going Blues. I think I was reading a bit about the height disadvantage between Coates and Tor. I know there's the whole Tor can actually lock down some defenders, but I think early, if they want to go something that works, Coates has been leaping over players for fun lately, so that could be an early target in Queensland.
I think that's a pretty good shout too, especially with Cameron Munster. He's got that like left edge little kick game on lock. So, if there's nothing on, for sure they'll kick to the easy target.
Yeah, for sure,
Especially after what's his name? Coates' last spicky, like the AFL big spicky, he jumped over.
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah,
that was a gangster. So yeah, that's it, man. Fair enough. Just chuck a few of those up every game. I would if he was in my teammate.
for sure.
Unreal.
Sweet.
Nice. I like that.
Let's jump into someone's asking about basketball tips, which is actually coming up a bit later, so we'll skip that one.
Cool. Nice.
Philip Ratsuma, who's one of the boys, who said, would you rather prime Fui Fui Moi Moi run it straight at you, or you run it straight at him?
I think I would run it straight at him because I feel like he'd be a nice guy and he wouldn't hit me as hard as he would in a game. I feel like outside of a game he'd hit you for a good laugh, but he wouldn't smack you like he would in a game. But then I feel like if he's running at you, I feel like he wouldn't want to be embarrassed, so he'd run full tilt.
Yeah. I'd rather me have a 10-meter run up than him have a 10-meter run up on me.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Oh, jeez.
That's sweet.
That's a good one.
Ray Nikawali, who says, what's our thoughts on a second New Zealand team?
I'm definitely, like, being a South Islander, I'm definitely vocal about it. I'd love to see a South Island Kiers team. It doesn't have to be the name, but somewhere I think Christchurch is the biggest competition for rugby league in the South Island and the strongest, so it makes sense to put it there. It's a good tourism for them as well. Have another popular team in the South. So I'm all for it. I would love to see it, and I would have liked to see that before Papua New Guinea. But I guess we'll have to wait our turn. What do you reckon?
I think there's enough talent. Hey, like you look at the Warriors team now, and that second team's almost the best team in the whatever you call it, the next comp below. So I think the talent's in New Zealand, and you look at elsewhere, like even in Origin, the amount of Kiwis in there.
Yeah,
I think definitely we could warrant a second team, and actually it could be like AFC, and all of a sudden they're the best team in New Zealand. But
yeah, well,
I think
that's true. Yeah, do you
it's
reckon
definitely worth a shot?
Yeah, 100%. Do you reckon like Wellington would probably, because Wellington is probably a bigger league capital than Christchurch, but then having the two islands have a team would also create a good dynamic that might make something of in the future. But because did you hear when the Kiers were trying to put their bid in, the CEO of the Warriors, what's his name?
Cameron George.
Yeah, Cameron George was trying to block it.
Oh, real?
Yeah, he was just trying to, I think he was trying to I can't remember exactly what the article was, but it was along the lines of him not wanting to take away from what Warriors have done and for them to take to start taking some of their pathways away, which kind of I can understand because they've done all the hard work, but you got to think to grow the game, especially to grow the game in New Zealand, it'd go a long way. So
for sure. I think Christchurch is that prime location. I think in the high school comp they run now, the Christchurch team is constantly the best team. So I think the talent's definitely down there as well.
Oh, that's right for Union.
Yeah, no, league.
Oh, really? True. That's good. Yeah, I know West Coast is always pretty strong. Christchurch is always pretty strong. Nelson's not too strong, but
I think Lenny had the bro on the podcast a little while ago who was their coach, and they had a good system down there. So yeah, I think it's definitely
that's mad.
Well worth.
No, definitely.
Sweet. Shit, there's heaps. Another one from Ray. Who made you a fan of your NRL team? This is probably this is a target at me, I reckon.
True. For me, it's hard because, growing up in New Zealand, especially in the South Island, all we really watched was Union, right? Yep. So we just diehard Union. And then, a league competition started when I was 18 in Nelson. I never even really knew how to play. Only really watched it on TV. Thought it was a real basic game. What you just touch, hit it, take it up a couple times and kick it. Yep. And then played it, loved it, found it really tough, but loved it. And then moved to Australia and Broncos was really big. And then, just kind of, I didn't know who I like. I really like Isaac Luke. So I had a Rabbitohs singlet. I had a Broncos training jersey. I was playing for the Ipswich Jets, so they were fed to the Titans. So I had a Titans shirt. So I was a bit of a slut, but then I watched the Broncos Warriors game and I was like, fuck, no, I'd have to go for the Warriors. And I just loved it. I like ran into Isaac Luca in the town afterwards and just just fell in love with the old Warriors. And that was 2012 actually. But actually, sorry to keep yapping on, but
No, you're good.
before I left, so in that one season I played league in New Zealand before I moved over. We played a grand final versus one of the other teams in Nelson, and they had Michael Luck and Simon Mannering running water for them. They were considered like the rich team, right? We were just like these like poor bros that only had one footy ball at training, and half the boys had been in prison and stuff like that. Just a real throw together, but like real hearty team. And we ended up winning by like 10 points. Me and my best mate got man of the match, and we both got a signed jersey from them. So that was probably why Simon Mannering is my favourite player, and probably in turn why I also like the Warriors. So bit of a long one.
Mine's not that cool, I don't think. So
no, I just remembered that. Sorry.
I was a wise diehard for a bit of a long time. So I don't know why, I've always had a thing for centres. So my favourite player was Tupi for years.
Oh, nice.
And then, when he moved on, I kind of like found myself, I didn't like Ropati as much, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was a big Origin
Yeah.
fan, and at that time Jennings was just coming on the scene, Michael Jennings.
Oh, hard out, yeah.
So I turned into a Penrith fan for a while. Fucking diehard Penrith, had fucking Nelavel, Pritchard, all them. So that was a good little whack. And then when Jennings signed to the Roosters, I was like, shit, I need to stop fucking bunny hopping. So I just stuck with him. Especially when he went to Para, I was like, fuck, I ain't going there. So I stayed at the Roosters. We happened to win a premiership his first year, so I thought, oh shit, decent team.
That helps.
And then just from there, you kind of grow through. I actually was one of those NRL diehards back in the day, and I used to message all the young players coming through.
Yeah, true.
And I still remember, because I was real into my pig hunting, fucking Latrell Mitt. So he was just coming through, and he was real into his hunting.
Yeah.
So me and him would have mad convos like all night about hunting and shit. And then
sick.
all of a sudden he became the player he is, and he kind of forgot me, but I was still like, shit. I still remember those days. Pretty sick.
You guys shared a special memory. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. He
Now
won't remember it, but I do.
Yeah, well, you might. You never know. Now he's got his Winnemara farm, and he lives out there and hunts and farms. He's that's pretty sick though.
He's had a shit team though, but
yeah, he is now. But man, Michael Jennings was so good. I still love. And that's a big thing about the NRL is I love the Warriors, but I also just love watching individual players. So I that's why I find myself watching pretty much every game unless I got other duties.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just good to watch. And, people jump around and then it's kind of like me in the NBA. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks because Giannis and they used to be sponsored by Harley Davidson, so I always love their jerseys.
Yeah.
But then I still like watching the games for those real good players, but it does make it harder because you love the Warriors, but then you love watching all these other boys. And would be sad for you to see Latrell leave.
It was, but then also there was the talent coming through. I think Jennings, I was amped when he came back. Yeah, but it was that whole drama of the shit he had been through and how the NRL didn't recognize his 300th and shit. I thought that was
that was rude, eh?
Yeah. But I love the old plasterer jokes. Those were on too. The whole grey head.
Hard, good question.
Sweet. I tell you, we got shitloads.
I'll try and keep it shorter.
Hey, you're good. Phil, so in our opinion, who's more of a goat, Cronk or Thurston?
Oh, shit. That's a really good comparison because he's such different players.
Yeah.
And together, they're considered, a GOAT halves pairing for Queensland. But separately, man, I probably have to say, I don't know, Thurston, I guess. I don't know. I guess maybe just the inspiration he brings to people and teams and stuff he really does inspire a lot of those gritty wins in his work ethic. Where Cooper Cronk is just diligent, regimented, and just does what he needs to do, but isn't that kind of exciting player. Where
for
Thurston,
sure.
The way he bends the ball to kick conversions, even exciting.
He also didn't have Billy Slater and Cam Smith. I guess that kind of tarnished Cronk's legacy a bit.
Yeah.
Thurston kind of did it without those big names, but
That's a really good point. So you're right there. Yeah, that's it. That's true.
no, yeah, I think Thurston's the GOAT right now until Cleary's done, but I think he's the current GOAT.
Yeah, for sure. I love him, mate.
Yeah.
And his laughs goes as his
That little hindy,
yeah.
that little hindy beef they had for a while, that was fucking classic.
Yeah, that was classic.
They were asking for his ring and shit.
I always feel bad for Hindy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor bugger.
Next one is from Ray as well, which is your greatest favorite player from your favorite team. So I guess we've kind of covered that, but who was yours? It was Mannering, was it?
Yeah, Simon Mannering's my favorite player.
Yeah.
But if I could turn that question, I was just having this conversation the weekend. I reckon the overall greatest player in the game, if you could everything to be relatively comparative, is Greg Inglis for me. I think he's just the best all-round player in history. Yeah, that's just,
He's kind of forgotten, I feel, eh? Like his...
Yeah, I don't know how. He's...
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. When he went to Souths, that premiership run they went on, and still that crawl to this day, that's probably one of the best try celebrations. The iguana.
100%. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's legendary for like he's like started that really, you know, because it wasn't just like a fun celebratory. It was like aggressive. It was sick.
That was the one thing, right? If your team was playing Inglis, you were always worried. Like as a New South Wales fan, I was like, "Fuck, they have Inglis."
100%. Yeah, that's right. And then when he went to fullback, it was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You just like, he gets more touch of the ball. And then everyone forgets when he started at the Storm, he won the premiership playing. I don't know if he won it. I think he won the premiership playing 5'8".
Yeah.
And he was a freak there too. Like,
Yeah.
he's really gone around and done so much. But as the epitome of like just dedication and hard work, I love Simon Mannering just for work ethic. He'll always be my favourite warrior.
Yep. Oh, sweet. Yeah, mine was Jennings. Jennings was always that player that excited me, you know, just watching him. He was always one that could explode. I was actually pissed off I never betted back in that days because I would have made a shitload of money off him. But
yeah, true. Right.
And I guess, yeah, a bit of work ethic. Oh, Jesus, that's a tongue twister. Work ethic. I always liked like a Ruben Wiki and shit like that. Just a good leader. You know, someone that led from the front. Yeah, so.
Definitely.
Paliacina, there was another one. There was another. His wind-ups, mate. Fuck.
They're legendary. Like, and they're only really becoming like legendary runs like in highlight reels nowadays, eh? Yeah. Just because of because just when he runs doing that, fuck, that's intimidating. Imagine that coming at you like this galloping horse. Fucking hell.
I never really understood back then because back then we didn't have Sky, so I'd kind of just listen on the radio more than anything. Yeah, so you kind of just listen to that commentary, but then you see it now and you're like, holy shit, that guy was a beast. Sweet. It's another one from Ray, which is wouldn't NRL draft work kind of like the NBA? You need the kind of feeder clubs, right? Like we need something underneath.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't because of that. Like, no team would want to develop their no club could be associated with the NRL club to make it fair. So that'd be pretty hard. But yeah, I think
the Kiwis as well would be an issue. Yeah,
exactly. We're two pathways orientated. Yeah.
So
it would be pretty cool to see. Like, I would like to even I don't know. Would be pretty cool to see, but then I guess you'd have to put a bigger spotlight on like the first 15 or first 13, whatever the competition that they might have.
Yeah.
Let's go, boys.
Sweet. Another one from Phil. Would you rather take a headbutt from Nate Miles or Paul Gallen?
Fuck, that's good. Probably Nate Miles, eh? Some reason I just think Nate Miles is a bit of a cat. So yeah, probably Nate. What about you?
Yeah, I reckon Nate too. We saw Gallen crack that head before, so yeah, it's crackable.
Did you see Paul Gallen and Sonny Bill Williams fight went ahead and is going ahead, and they had that press conference? He didn't turn up.
Sonny was a bit interesting with that, the whole drug shit.
Yeah, he's calling him out hard out. So it's interesting that they haven't, like, even the media haven't really like gone harder with it probably because he's in Channel 9, you know, he's in the media, so they're But you know, if he's not showing up because of his drug tests, fuck that cunt.
Because apparently it's not in the contract, He took out the drug rules, so they're actually allowed. Speaking of drugs, did you see that swimmer? Bit off topic. That swimmer that did There's the fucking enhanced games. Have you seen that shit?
Oh yeah. Magnuson. Yeah.
What the heck?
He's looking jacked, bro. He's looking
like
so jacked. It's crack up, eh? I'm actually interested to see how that goes. So I think he's put on like an extra, I don't remember what it was, 10 kilo? Or does that sound too much? But he's only swimming like not even 1 second faster or something. I don't know. But it's not like, but he's still got a long way to go. But
yeah.
he's looking fucking huge. And I'm all for it. Eh? It's like, he wants to make a bit extra money. His season, his little career's done in terms of the actual swimming professionally. Why not give it a go? He's doing it in a pretty controlled area, and it's like the level of like what do you call supplements that people get these days, all borderline. At one point in the time of the last 20 years, they were probably legal, and then they only just start getting banned as they go. So fuck it, juice the boys straight to the teeth.
No, for sure.
Let them play.
I'd love to see the sprint. Fuck, that'd be sick.
Oh, that would be. But imagine the injuries that might come out of it. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that they all get to top speed and then just pop.
Sweet. We got a real good question next. You manage a new NRL team with no salary cap. Who's your spine to build around?
Or does that allow like people you can sign who's already contracted, or was that
yeah? So just anyone, I think. Pick your spine to build around, I guess.
I would probably go Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes. Who's it good? I'm stuck. I really like Jerome Hughes, but I guess if you're building around them, you want them to be kind of younger, don't you?
Yeah.
Who do you reckon?
I think my first name on the paper would be that Katoa for the Dolphins. Yeah, I think he's just he's the freak, man. Yeah. I know that Cleary's still quite young, I guess, but I think if I'm building from start, Katoa's going to be there a long time. And then his talent is just crazy. So I think he would be my first name. Fullback, from what I saw on the weekend, I reckon Fletcher Sharp's a gun at fullback. I think
he's so good, eh?
He's like a Pappenhausen clone as such. If I could,
100%.
I'd be taking him at fullback. And then 6, I reckon Ezra Mam, still young. There's that controversy, but he's a good player. And him and Katoa would complement each other real well, kind of like Nikarima does now.
Yeah, true. I really liked Ezra Mam for that 6. I'm still torn on a 7 though. Like obviously, if Nathan Clear is available, I'd take him. But I think, I don't know. I think I probably would go with Jerome Hughes, and then I would pick Pappenhausen for that fullback, just because I think he's still got a lot to go and he's just getting more and more exciting. And then do we pick Hooker for?
Yeah, Hooker
for a spine. Hooker. Who'd you go?
I think Harry Grant, even though he's a bit older, I think he's just the perfect hooker, does everything right, and I think he would complement everyone well. So you just got
a good footy head, and that's just a real key element for a hooker. Eh? Just knows what to do, when to do it, and So I think Harry Grant's a pretty solid one, and I just picked 3 out of 4 Storm players.
So they do have the best spine.
It's hard to deny.
Yeah.
Cameron Munster sometimes though. Yeah.
Oh, he's hot and cold, but trying to find a good one. There's some piss takes in here. Logan Crabb, thoughts on the new Warriors kid over the weekend?
Mean, real mean. I said to my wife, if I win a multi this weekend, I'm going to buy it. Next minute, no jersey for Ferg.
Some of the boys were saying the same thing. Yeah, like in my friend group, they're like, "Fuck, we need to win a multi to get this jersey."
The problem is, like, one of my multis was like a $90 multi I put on it, and it lost. So I was halfway there to buying the jersey. Dumb, but that's all right. Because it's still on pre-sale, so hopefully I'll still buy it over the next couple of weeks. Just got a lot of shit that I'm trying to do at the moment, so I don't want to pull money out. I want to win money from my fishing allocated money. It's more satisfying too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I won us a fridge last year, which was pretty sick. I remember it was the game where Dallin scored in like the 79th minute, Fuck.
Yeah.
Lost.
Yeah. That's the bit. Because it's good when you got something to show for it. You're like,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Look at this. Not just beers and pokies.
Yeah, and an empty wallet.
Yeah, that's it.
Sweet. The rest of these are pretty. Some of these are piss takes. I guess the last one we can finish on is from Phil. If you could choose one player to kick a goal 40 meters out from the sideline to save your life, who are you picking?
Oh, that's a good one.
We'd go current or all time.
True. Maybe both, eh?
Yeah,
And only league, obviously.
yeah.
Well, has Hazel El Mazari got the highest kicking percentage? Was
I
it
think
him?
so.
Yeah. So he's taken it if it's any time.
Yeah.
And then who's currently the best informed kicker? Because I don't want to die, and I don't want to just based on some morals. I want someone who's kicking him right now pretty well.
It's Cleary kicks it.
He does kick it, and he's usually pretty clutch under pressure. So
Yeah.
you'd probably have to go him, eh? Like
Yeah.
the pressure of scoring 2 points for your team to win a goal compared to saving someone's life. I don't know if many of them could really take that.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm kicking it myself.
I don't mind Lomax too, I think.
Oh, true, Lomax.
It's my life.
Yeah, like it. Imagine that though. You just watch some guy kick a goal and it just misses, and you're like, "What the hell?" That'd be pretty fun. New Squid Games challenge.
Sweet. So let's jump into some footy review
nice.
from last round. There's some good questions in there.
Yeah, definitely. I love it.
We start off with the Dolphins. Dolphins 44-8 versus the Bulldogs. So my value pick of the week was actually, despite not seeing this result happening, I was pretty keen on Herbie and Asako, but
Nice.
44-8, I definitely didn't expect that.
Especially the half-time score. What was it? It was
14-8. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Like I didn't expect that kind of blowout. Real disappointing from the Dogs, who usually are a second half resilient team, but just goes to show that they rely a lot on Stephen Crichton's leadership and I guess Max King's.
Yeah.
Whatever he does in the middle.
Yeah.
Because they're the only Blues, right? Are they the only Blues?
Yeah, Burden was 18th man, so I think there was also that.
But he still played though, didn't he?
I don't know did he play? Oh, he did play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did play. I know. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, I think Burden went off actually. I can't remember. But yeah.
It was pissing down with rain though, like that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good gritty game. Dolphins. I really liked Herbie as well. But I really liked someone in the. Yeah, I had a couple of people for the Dogs team, and they obviously didn't score. I can't remember who else I liked, but yeah, Herbie's one of the informed centers. He's playing so well.
$3 was a robbery last week for him. The way he's been playing, I think he scored his last 6 or something like that.
Juicy.
Yeah, sweet. Continuing the upset trend, Eels 30-10. That Josiah Papali, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
On debut, he was a bit of a gun.
Yeah, he was good, eh? Him and I didn't even know that winger, Sarani, whatever his name is.
Rani, yeah.
Sam Rani. I'd never even seen him before, so it was cool to see them link up. And although they were pretty poor on defence, they were exciting on attack. So it's always cool to see a young guy score on debut, let alone score a couple. So
it was a bit of an upset result. I was keen on the Manly and keen on Hopewadi and Turbo. Hopewadi got a couple, but Turbo just offered nothing. We find out now he's done a cork, but he looked pretty fit and healthy that game. I don't know if that was.
Well, he didn't have strapping on this time compared to what he normally does. Usually he's got half a leg of strapping tape.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I seen him no tape run out. I said, "Fuck yeah, Turbo's on." Had him on my and then they just shit the bed. But real disappointing for Manly. Like it's a real step back. I think for them. Like I don't know what they.
There was time for Luke Brooks to step up, and Luke Brooks didn't step up, which was actually a big disappointment.
Yeah. That's right, and sorry, you go.
Considering next year they might be losing DCE, like that wasn't a good insight to what's ahead.
Yeah, that's right. And Jake Arthurs did go off with a HIA, but he came back on. But it really didn't make much difference. They lacked that whole control game management. So I don't know. Maybe Little Brooks has been getting too comfortable playing 5'8".
Yeah.
The biggest stuff up. Like I can that Manly have done a long time is let what's his name, the Rabbitohs halfback, Murphy, no,
Oh,
Humphreys. Let him go, man. He is such a good halfback, and he's such just like he's obviously fit as, so it shows he's dedicated. Probably does a lot of extras, and he works on his craft because he's just such a good. You wouldn't think he's so young, and for Manly to let him go is just wild, eh?
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, no, he's killing it in South, so I think that's definitely one they regret.
Yeah.
On to the next Knights, 25-6 against the Panthers. So Fletcher Sharp, that was a bit of a. I think everyone had him in all their bets.
Yeah,
he played.
For sure.
He played fucking amazing. Like they didn't. I don't know how they weren't the favourites. They kind of were they $2.10 or something. Everyone thought that no Ponga, they're fucked, but
Yeah,
Fletcher Sharp just gave them that spark they needed. Dylan Lucas was on fire. Almost got 4
100%.
tries in the first half.
that was crazy, eh?
Right, that last one, he could have passed it, and he kind of just fuck it.
He just. I think he wanted to show that he could be the big winger, eh? Like do the big
Yeah.
put down, and it was fucking it looked real good until the slow mo. But yeah, I like this was the only. I think the only tip I got right actually. Yeah, that's the only tip I got right, and I tried to tell all my mates like, man, I don't know how Knights aren't favourites. Like, it was only like 6 weeks ago that Panthers were one of the worst teams in the comp, bottom of the table, and that was like when they had like that either miss Edwards or they'd miss Thingy, or like they only had a couple people missing. Now you've stripped 5 of the best players, and then they lost Isaiah Papali'i. It's like, they might have a couple guys come through, but there's no way that I thought they could win that. And then but I really didn't think it was going to be 13 plus kind of margin. But Dylan Lucas really put on a show on that short side. Killed it.
Yeah, that was a great game from him. Was that Gagai's 300th too? That also got them up.
Yeah, that's true.
Sweet. Onto the upset I did not see happening. Roosters 42-16 against the Sharks. Crazy game considering Sharks had no outs for Origin. I thought the Sharks would pump us. But just from the gate, that Tupou kick from Savala that worked twice back to back. And they were just on the back foot ever since then. Perfect. Like, the ball playing was just crazy. Mawakanita Waisei is a freak. I think he's got Origin written all over him, mate. Like,
100%.
That talent.
They definitely like this is the reverse of what I thought with the Penrith game. I thought Roosters got fair few outs. They're going to be lacking, and then Sharks. I guess maybe Sharks believed in their own hype that they got players out. They're going to probably do an easy job here, and Roosters identified an easy mismatch with the young not the young winger, Horiti.
Yep.
Just being a bit shorter, and obviously Tupou being experienced, like high flyer he is, and they just keep kicking to him. Just hopefully like Cameron Munster kicks the Coats this weekend. Just repeat. But they looked awesome, and Mark, he can do it all. What can't he do except for defend? But he's pretty good.
He probably won a few multis with that late pass to Dom Young. Because I tell you, he won mine.
I had Dom Young on mine, but I also had a few more Sharkies players in there.
No, sweet. Yeah, my best bet that game was, I think my best bet of the round was Mulitalo into Sharks win. So got robbed there. Mulitalo scored, but the old Sharks fucking shit the bed.
I'm trying to think what my bet was for that game, because I definitely had Dom Young. I had Ero.
Yeah.
Maybe I had Sharks to win as well.
Sweet. Into the last game, which is probably the game of the round. The Raiders versus the Wires, 16-10 Raiders. Tell you what, good game. I'll don't do the
No.
Good game, but
he was doing that to me.
I think the way Tamale and Tarpany displayed in Horsburgh after the game, giving the fingers to the crowd and shit. I think that's a bit stink. Like,
Yeah,
win, be humble, win. Like, Tamale did fuck all, and he's in there fucking monowaving the crowd, talking shit.
that's right.
Like,
He did like one good run and then he dropped the
yeah,
ball multiple times.
yeah,
And then he's fucking throwing up all that out. Like, I like it. Like, I like the rivalry and the banter and stuff. But yeah, it gets to a point where it's a bit much, and it just shows a level of immaturity. But like, I love like bit of back and forth. Carlos
yeah,
Spencer
yeah,
back in the day, giving a couple of these ones. But like,
yeah.
it's just how much you let it carry on and shit like that.
I'd love to see the Wires versus the Raiders in the final at Mount Smart again. I think that'd be a fucking humdinger.
Hard out. No, absolutely. Like at least one of the playoff games, that'd be mad.
Yeah. But
I was pretty spewing. Like I do think Raiders deserve to win it. They like were the better team. I really liked, as much as I didn't like, I really liked Tarpany, the way he really just keep picking a fight. I thought it was pretty crap a lot of the time, and I don't know. I felt like we did get some good calls, so I'm not saying we didn't, but then like how long it took them to get a send off compared to how long straight after it took us to get a send off, I think that was a big disparity. But Tarpany, he kept measuring up, and the Warriors didn't want to go 1-on-1 and give him try to put a shot on it, and then he just keep trying to back it up, and it'll still go down as one of the worst challenges though. He challenges the playing penalty, it gets upgraded to send off. Sorry, to a 10 in the bin. Oh, that's too good. But still wasn't enough to win the game.
As an outsider, no bias, I thought that the Wires, like, selecting Tamari Martin kind of backfired that game. Like, they needed
100%.
the extra punch early.
Yeah.
Sorry, they needed the extra punch late in the game. I feel like they just didn't have it. As you were saying, Tapani was running rampant towards the end, and Tamari, he was kind of the one they picked out. I think they needed an extra forward there or someone that's going to play hooker and just sub straight for Egan so you still have power and size in there. They kind of, when they had those two on the field, it was kind of like a little shit zone that they kind of...
No, you're absolutely right. And that's what I didn't like with the Warriors is that when Chance got 10 in the bin, we put Tamani Martin to cover fullback.
Yeah.
Where what that meant is like we're short, like we're lesser in the middle. And instead of pushing RTS to fullback and then putting Capewell into the center and then Pompey onto a wing and then we'll work harder through the middle and play tighter.
Shift,
rather than putting Tamari Martin on, it just didn't make any sense to me. So that kind of irritated me. And then we kept him on. Like I like him. I want him to stay in the team, but I just don't think that is working for us. Especially when we had that level of like experience in the middles out. I think what's his name? Even Stowers playing the second game would have been a big body, drawing in some really good attention and securing our middle, but. Yeah, Laban didn't have the best of the games. He was had a couple of errors and I don't know. I feel maybe got a little bit intimidated with all the ruckus going around. But
he got paid. He got paid, and he's like, "Oh, fuck it."
yeah, that's right. I'm here for two. I'm here for a couple of years. I'll figure it out later. Yeah, that's it. Nah, it was all credit to Raiders. They turned up on the day and against a pretty resilient Warriors team and a pretty tough local crowd, it sounds like. Got to give them credit.
For sure. Sweet. We'll just do a quick recap over our horse bets too.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have? We had best bet Antino for me, which is in Doomben, who had a good win over Pride of Jenny. We also had Pierre, which was Jace's family horse. Kiwi was paying about $8 a place or something, and actually ran third. Real nice run. So
that's right. Yeah, I did see that. Fuck, how good is that?
So it'd be one to watch for next time. And
keep an eye on it.
As well as that, we also hit the quad get set up, which was pretty juicy. I think I chucked $10 on and I got 100 back. So hopefully a few listeners got on.
Yeah, definitely.
Good little hit. But no fucking nags this weekend, which is probably good. Need a break over winter. All the fucking donkeys come out to play. So they start jumping and shit, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing. That sweet. We'll jump into a bit of a preview of Origin. So big match tomorrow. Queensland. I think it's in Suncorp.
Yeah, I didn't even realise till last week that it was at Suncorp. I'm just bad at organising. myself. My mate's going to it, and I was spewing.
Yeah.
Didn't look into it.
Bit of injury news around Crichton. I think he's taken his position, but could be a target zone for Queensland, man. That cork injury sounds like it wasn't too good. He hasn't been training all week, so
I always feel like there's always that always those speculations that come out of just before Origin, a bit of smoke and mirrors. Payne Haas not training. Oh, he's on light. He's doing light duties. But yeah, if I reckon if they can see something early, then they'll identify it and hopefully run some shape at him. But it's going to be a tough task, I think. Queensland, like being at Suncorp, is probably the biggest benefit for Queensland because they really do stand up. Kind of like the Warriors at home, they really do stand up in their backyard, and the crowd really get around it. It's I've only been to one Origin game, and it was a Origin decider maybe 3 years ago, and it was like this is like nothing I'd ever been to, like kind of footy experience where like as the players all running out, like the crowd's going wild, like real good, like loud, intense atmosphere. And then as soon as he kicked the ball, the whole crowd went dead quiet, and I swear it was so quiet. And then he catches it, and as soon as he hits it, just like erupts the whole stadium. And I think like the next tackle, someone got knocked out, and it was the one where Ben Hunt scored the winning try down the sideline. It was an epic decider. Fuck, it is just such an incredible atmosphere, and I definitely recommend.
I'd love to go.
Something to go at least once.
I feel like I'd love to go to Suncorp, even though I'll probably get booed like fuck. I think just that atmosphere, Caxton Street, I know the boys might do a magic round, but I think an Origin there too would be sick.
Yeah, fuck it. Bloody oath, Yeah, definitely recommend.
Sweet. My tips for the game. So I'm actually pretty keen, as you were talking earlier, Trail Mitt. He has a 75% strike rate at Origin. Bet you have a bit of a boost, so it's $4.50 for him to score and New South Wales to win. I think that's a good jam.
That's a great jam. I
also don't mind $15 for him to get man of the match. I think just that Rob Toya mismatch. I don't know if you saw Angus Crichton. He came out saying, we're going to target your little ass all night. So they know about it. I think
for sure.
Trell's made for these big games, and that's going to be his moment. I remember years ago, I think it was like his debut, he targeted, might have been Hodges it was Will Chambers. And he fucking just had a mint game like all night just going at Chambers. So I think it's going to be similar here, eh?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. He's definitely my standout for any kind of betting options. As soon as Robert Toya got announced to be the centre, I backed Latrell Mitchell for the Players Series at like 19-1 or something like that. So I think he's going to have a great game, and I think he's going to start from the very first kickoff. So I really like Latrell. I think he's paying $2.30 in Australia.
Yeah, it's good money.
Yeah, I'll probably add him to a couple little bits, and it's just mind blowing. Like I don't underestimate Billy Slater in the way that he might think, and he has to have some way that they're going to try to compensate for him being younger. And the defense structure, I don't know what it is because I just can't think. Obviously he's a far superior footy brain than I am, but I just can't see any defense structure that at some point of the game, whether it be a scrum, they might even put a scrum in the center. It's going to be first one-on-one with him and then outside. And all the trial's going to do is just draw him and the winger in, little offload, little tip on. I just don't know how they can defend that. It's such a big task. But I really hope Toya can do it. But the trial Mitt just keeps proving time and time again that he's the man.
Definitely. Another one I'm real keen on is the man that loves an Origin try, Hammer. I think he scored in 86% of games or something. He broke his streak his last game, but he's a freak in the centres. And if this cork injury is true with Crichton, he's going to target that speed all day. Be grubber kicks and everything going towards the Hammer. So I'm pretty keen on him as well. Those two running a same game $6, and I mean it's mint odds.
True, that's pretty good. I think I looked at it and it was $5 in Australia, so I like that. I must be copying your notes because I can't stay away from those two. I think Hammer just finds a way to score tries. It's not always off like a set shape or even like a targeted something like that. It's just he because of his speed and his ability, he can just turn up anywhere and be that support play.
Yeah.
And I really think they need him to be like to have a big game for them to have any chance of even winning
Yeah, for
or
sure.
keeping the game tight. So that's actually my bet for the game is right there. Is Latrell Mitchell, Hammer Fido, and either team 1 to 12 at $8. So
Beauty. I
yeah,
love that. I'd be all over that. You may as well make it Blues 1 to 12 though.
well, I've been burned so many times doing like 1 to 12 on someone, and it just goes the other side. So like I found 1 to 12, and especially if the game, like if the odds are pretty rough for one team, the 1 to 12 odds is actually quite high. So usually it's like $1.60 to $2 or $2.10 for either team 1 to 12. But yeah, it's shit.
Not beauty.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Nah, it's gonna be a good game. Excited for it. It's always that day. Fuck it, because I manage a few people who are pretty keen on the footy, and they've already booked their leave for working from home Thursday, which I'm pretty fucking filthy about because now I have to go into the office. Because it's always that day when you're fucking knackered living on the Long Blacks.
Yeah, smart people though get in early.
Cracking a few of these, I could tell you that.
Fuck, I wish I had that can. No, I'll be one of those dusty guys driving to work. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Should have changed my work from home day.
It's always the worst too because you bet on the man of the match, so you actually have to stay until they fucking announce it.
Oh, and it'll be worse for you actually because you're 2 hours ahead. Sorry, I should complain.
And then sometimes they don't even bloody announce it. You have to actually look at the articles, and it's been out there for 30 minutes. You're like, oh, sweet.
Oh shit! I just dropped my phone. 1 second.
Fucking Queenslanders.
You. Oh, what do you reckon about Oh, we're still talking about Origin.
Yeah, we can do.
What do you reckon about? Because I haven't watched much of the training run for Queensland, but I don't overly like Ruben Cotter, and I not like him, so I don't like him in the back row. So I'm interested to see which side he plays because historically Nanan plays right, but this year he's been playing a bit of left. So I'm interested to see where Cotter plays and then who his matchup's going to be, and I'll probably back. Like if it's Nathan Cleary versus Cotter, I'm going to back Nathan Cleary for any time try score for sure because just like he does for the Broncos in the grand final and the other week, beats him on the outside, skips straight through.
I've seen some things saying that Nanai is on the same side as Coates, which is the right edge. So I'm guessing Nanai would be back in his right edge. But I also don't know if that's a tactical play because if they are trying to lock up Trowell, Cotter's your better defender of the two, and is he the answer? So that's kind of the.
Well, is Coates going to play right?
Yeah, right edge.
Left?
Yeah, so really? Holmes is the better. I think Holmes is the left edge. Well, Coates started as a right edge. I guess he just got moved to left with. The Storm system. So I think he's usually playing against To'o. And I've also read that.
Is To'o going to play
left?
Yeah. Because for Penrith, has he been playing left? Or has he been playing right?
He's been playing left a bit. Alamoti's been a bit injured, right?
You're right, actually. Yeah, true.
He's only had a couple of games, but Lomax will be on the right, which is also interesting because Cleary's going to be on the right. Moses should be with Cleary. Moses should be with Lomax. Cleary should be with To'o. So it's kind of a
little bit of a mixed match.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. So, it'll be weird to see. So, you reckon Cotter will be right?
I reckon Cotter will be left. I reckon Cotter will be left, but there is that. If Trowell's ripping Toya, maybe they move him to the right. So, who have they got off the bench? Both firm moves, so that's a...
I love both of them. I'd have him starting over Cotter every day. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's a late switch. If they put Cotter in, it's just more smoke and mirrors.
Exactly. Cotter's more utility player anyway.
So. Exactly. And impact. Impact. He can really put on some pressure. Trent Leero, I think such a nothing selection. Like he's not a bad player and he's good in his own right, but like that what was that last game against the Raiders where he gave away that last penalty to lose the game?
Yeah.
Man, picking for Origin.
It's a Billy Slater pick, right? Like he just knows that Storm system. He knows that
That's
he'll be
true.
fucking drilled in. But
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually
true.
real excited to see Max King make an impact. I think he's another
Yeah.
player made for Origin. He's kind of battling for that spot with Terrell May. Turbo will be back next game, so he's got a point to prove. So we'll see what he
Yeah,
does.
that's true. A funny person I seen actually at the one of the trainings for New South Wales in the coaching staff is Craig Bellamy.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So there's this dude videoing all the players like, hey bro, like handshaking them because he must have done like a
Yeah.
training run against him. And then Craig Bellamy's there and he handshakes him. He's wearing the big jumper, and I'm like, hey, the fuck? But why not? Why not recruit one of the best coaches in the game?
Did
So
you see who they
obviously,
brought in? They brought in Cody
Preston.
Ramsey as one of their. Cody Ramsey was one of their training partners. Like him, Dewey, and them were brought in to train with the squad, which I thought was fucking odd.
Well, I thought they brought in Preston and Dewey.
That Cody Ramsey was there too,
What the
which
fuck?
was random as heck because
He
he
hasn't
hasn't
played
even.
one inaugural game this year, let alone last couple of years.
Yeah, he did his groin, whatever he did, and then hasn't been seen.
What the?
But I'm wondering if there's something about him that makes him like a clone to a Holmes or something like that. Like, is he a good? There
True.
must be something about him that fucking
Yeah, that's a good point. We run some similar like a.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Or he's just available. Fuck, that could be the other thing.
Yeah, that's odd, eh? But I thought it was weird that even they brought in Adam Dewey out of all the
Yeah,
Tigers players.
yeah.
Why are they bringing in a centre, like a
Nah.
centre utility half? That he will literally never get a game.
No.
I just don't understand that. He's so
He's a
far
real-
behind. Yeah.
He's a real Corey Allen like pick. Remember Corey Allen, how he played Origin a couple years ago? It's kind of like that. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. That's funny, eh? Corey Allen's still playing for the Dragons. I couldn't believe it when he popped back up a couple weeks ago, eh?
He looked like a different man too. I was like, shit, who is this?
Yeah, he's a little bit chubbier around the stomach. Got longer hair. But I was like, oh, good on him, still hanging around. Fuck, if I was him, I would have done my dash straight to Super League and made some money.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sweet. So let's jump into some NBA. A bit different for the good punts. We haven't really talked NBA yet, but we've got the finals going on right now between we've got the Thunder versus Timberwolves. So Thunder up 3-1 now, which is historically 3-1. That's the series done, but I think Ant is he's capable of forcing another couple games. But Shai is just so good. That Thunder system is crazy. They're the favourites, definitely to take out the whole thing, and it'd be hard for them to lose. I think it'd actually be cool for them to win. They're a bit of a fucking shit talking team, but they got the young talent, and it'd be cool to reward Shai for all the way the way he plays is crazy. So to reward him with a ship would be mint.
Yeah, that's it. He's already just secured the MVP, so wouldn't be surprised if he goes all the way and takes it. And I think I don't know. Like I watched a bit of the game today, and like I love Ant-Man, but it's just he looked a bit lacking. I guess they really defended him today, and they doubled him, and even Julius Randle he sucked. But the rest of the team stood up real well and tried to push it to a really close game.
Yeah.
But I think they really needed Randle to step up today, and it was. But yeah, the hard thing about this NRL or this NBA finals is I don't overly get excited by these four teams. Like it's just nothing about them that really shows that like I don't know we're the best, but like they're all hardworking, grinding teams. But I kind of wouldn't mind seeing the Knicks win it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like Jalen Brunson has just been Jalen Brunson. He's just been he's been so good, but every time they win, he has to have like a pretty good game.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good series, that one with the Pacers. I think definitely could see a game 7 happening there, which is if Thunder win this next game, that's a big advantage. They get a good break, whereas these other teams going 7 games fucking deep. Because I think the Knicks are down 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Yeah. So, be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of Halliburton, eh? I just don't like him. I don't know. I think because he always beats my Bucks.
Yeah.
So I'm sick and tired of him.
I don't mind the Bucks there. Giannis will be interesting where he goes, what's happening with him.
Yeah, and it'll hurt me if he leaves because I will probably jump team.
Sounds like you're coming to my team then, the Rockets.
Is he really going to Rockets?
No, that's the rumor. But apparently
I don't think I'll ever support Houston.
Hey, it's Steve Adams, mate. Steve.
Wait, Houston Rockets. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you guys actually had a good year this year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
I just hate the red jersey. I just don't think I'll ever buy a red singlet. Mongrel mob breeds.
Yeah.
No, I just don't like Houston. I really hope he goes to somewhere like a bit more, a bigger kind of super team, obviously for his own success.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'd definitely love him to stay at the Bucks and hopefully get Dame nice and healthy and they can finally put something together. But yeah, they're definitely missing some key elements.
It's a bit of a trend with you, but Portis is a fucking clone to Lumi Lumiere. Bobby Portis, his eyes are like
He is. He actually is. He is so Lumi on the NBA. That is so good. Oh, I actually love Bobby. I love Bobby Portis and I love.
Oh yeah.
Who's that other big dude? Lepo. Shit. Get my words.
Not Lopez.
Lopez.
Yeah.
I have to think Mexican every time but he doesn't look Mexican.
Yeah.
To remember his name. But yeah, I really like those like old school teams when they won it. When they had those two guys and they had
Middleton and
Chris
stuff.
Middleton, and like they had Holiday. I really like that team, and then they just. It's always the case. They trade. Everyone makes some money, and then they got Kuzma. And fuck, I used to hate Kuzma so much. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? It's making me hard to watch the boys because now they're trying to be like a Celtics where they just shoot heaps of threes. And it's like I get it. You got one of the best, big guys like Giannis, but still like. You need more people going to the rim so they can take away from him. Not just everyone, wants a Trent Jr. taking threes. Everyone's taking threes. It fucking pisses me off. Like, especially when you're having a bet on them, and it's like to build momentum a game, you just need to get a couple good buckets together, and then when you can start throwing up some threes when you can afford to lose position. But then they don't. They just keep going down there, 3-point miss, down that 3-point miss, down there 3, and then they're down by 9 and like fucking 3 position. I'm like, fuck you guys. Oh, no. It's good. It's good.
Sweet. Let's jump into some Super Rugby. Another thing we haven't covered. I thought you'd be the right man. You like a bit of code, don't you?
I definitely love Union, but being in Australia and because is rugby still on Sky for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like our equivalent is Foxtel, and rugby union isn't on Foxtel, so it's on Stan Sports.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, so you have to buy like a separate subscription, which is like you buy it costs $18, and then you want to get the sports package, which is like another $9. So you pay another $30 a month for another subscription just to watch rugby union.
Fuck.
So they make it real hard to watch it over here. So the only time I watch it is like if I'm at a pub or if I'm pretty much if I'm at a pub. Or I watch highlights and bits and pieces, and I try to keep around it just for the sake of having a sports podcast. But yeah, definitely not as depth as you guys would be for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Some good matches. Chiefs Highlanders to start the round will be a mint game. Chiefs. Chiefs are in the semi-finals. They kind of got that locked, I think, but they still want to be their top seed. So I think they will put over. But I don't know if you saw their score last week. They're 85-7. That was a freaking
Moana Pacific.
Yeah, Chiefs spanked Moana.
The only person to score from Moana Pacific is Artie. Keeping the boys' multis alive.
Highlanders' season's done. It's just pride now. So. I think Chiefs get it done in that game. That'll be a good game to watch. Brumbies Crusaders is the next game, which is a real key match because I think the winner of that is locked in second spot. So
so they're top of second.
Yeah, they're second, third. So there's a lot to play for that game. I think Crusaders are the better team of the two, and I think even though Brumbies have their home advantage, I think Crusaders are the ones that will get it done. And I'm real keen on Sevu Reece to score. I think he just broke the Super Rugby record.
67, and the last one was 65, I think, something like that.
Crazy. Yeah.
Legend. I love little Sevu Reece.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Played for the Marcos too.
He was a Chiefs boy. I remember that. Like, Chiefs Junior, and then he I think he did something to his missus, and he got fucking.
I remember that
Sick.
when he signed to go overseas,
Yeah.
and then it got squashed or whatever, and then he
Yeah.
got a contract to the Crusaders
Yeah.
with some rehabilitation rights, and and then he's developed into one of the best wingers in the game.
For sure.
No, I'm happy for him, man. Hopefully he changed his life. Like, obviously he's changed his life around and made a mistake, and he's redeemed himself. And
Yeah,
good on
for
him.
sure.
Exciting player. He's just a little nippy bastard.
Yeah. The next game's a bit interesting. So it's the Blues Waratahs. So they're 7th, 8th. I think the winner has a slim chance of making the finals because it's only top 6 now. But Waratahs have won more games, and the market's real weird here. So the Blues are $1.06 favourites, and Waratahs are $7.50 to win, which I think is fucking crazy. Like that's almost worth backing just for the fact the price. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah, well, because I know the Waratahs have lost the $1 million man from rugby union, Soliti.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, maybe they've lost a few other players. So, geez.
Yeah, they got the win last week in extra time, so it's not like they're totally shit. But
yeah, weird. Geez, maybe worth it, eh?
Yeah, $1.05 for the Blues is freaking short considering they've won 5 games to the Waratahs 6. So.
Yeah, no, for sure, and especially like you said, like Blues, Waratahs, and Moana Pacific all have to win this game to try and clinch that last position. So, you can never ride a underdog off, especially at a 7-1.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the line on that? 24.
Fuck if it is 19 and a half.
19 and a half.
Yeah, 20. Fuck.
You'd probably add that to a multi.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I remember years ago I bet the Sunwolves. Do you remember that team? The old Japanese Sunwolves? Yeah.
Yeah, true.
They were paying $81 to beat the Highlanders. I think it was their first fucking match. And fuck, I got on it and they fucking upset them. It was fucking.
Oh crap! Really?
No, yeah, they hit.
That's the best, eh? I only had one of those good ones where like I felt like I knew better than the market.
Yeah.
It was like probably 2014 or 15. Actually, it's 12 years ago because it was the Wales was touring New Zealand.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Wales, the British and Irish Lions. And you know how like they have that backup team that plays like a Super Rugby team in the midweek. So the British and Irish Lions team was playing the Chiefs, and the Chiefs didn't have like Damien McKenzie, didn't have a whole bunch of like stars playing, but they had Stephen Donald playing 5'8", and James Lowe moved to fullback.
Yeah.
So like James Lowe came from Nelson, he played fullback for our rep team, and I just always knew like he's always played fullback first 15. He was just always a gun fullback. So as soon as he did that, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to back this team who like they have a genuine continuity as a team compared to this Wales team backups. They're not too bothered because the game doesn't mean anything. I think they were paying like 10-1, and I backed them like $100 head to head, $100 like plus 10. And then like I just keep doubling down on them, and they end up winning 40-7 or something. And I just like I went to footy training, watching this game on my phone, thinking I'm a fucking genius. I'm a genius. Like it was the best feeling, eh? Oh, it was so good.
Sweet. Next game, Hurricanes Moana. I think Moana is like the $3.70 for them to win is fucking tempting, considering as you were saying they have to win for there to be a chance. Artie's going to have a huge game against the Hurricanes. We all know that.
Yeah, him and Julian, as long as Julian's still fit. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think it's almost worth taking that upset value. Hurricanes I think they've locked in that final spot. So yeah, they are. So regardless, they might not have anything to play for. So there we go.
That's right. And who knows? Maybe they'll even. They probably wouldn't rest players, would they? Would they?
They can't go up, and they can't.
Yeah.
If they go down, they're playing the Reds anyway. So nah. Maybe they do rest players.
Yeah, true, mate. Because like it's still early in the week, you never know what could happen, eh?
Yeah, teams haven't been named yet, so it could be. Yeah,
not bad.
Sweet. Then last game, Reds drew. So Reds need to win. Drew are not in Fiji, so I think the Reds are kind of a lock there.
Yeah.
Queensland need to win something, so they can have that.
Yeah, they definitely need something. We'll take it.
Sweet. Anything else for you there?
No, nothing. I haven't
Cool.
really. Yeah,
Cool.
looks good to me. I'm keen to watch the final series though.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Cool. Let's jump into some footy, the greatest game of all.
Hey.
Friday night we got the Dragons versus the Knights. So Ponga's named at fullback, which I don't like. As I said, I think Sharp was
Backing up.
backing up. There's a few players named to back up. Of course, there's the unknown if they do.
Pretty much
But
all of them, eh? Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty keen on Dylan Lucas again. So he has a 50% strike rate versus the Dragons. $2.75. That's good money. And old money man Toy Pilotu's back. So definitely have a look in there.
Yeah, that's actually what I got written down on mine. I got Knights 1-12. I think Knights will still get it done against the Dragons. I just don't really like Dragons. But I've got Dylan Lucas. He's in great form. And then the money man Tuipulotu ATS. So that's going to be my little bit for that one.
Sweet. To the next Titan Storm. Should be an upset. Oh, sorry, a bit of an ass kicking, but we never know, eh?
Yeah, you really don't anymore. It could definitely be an upset.
Yeah. Oh, Titans have done it before.
Yeah.
Who keen on?
I definitely. I'll be back in the Storm for sure. You know, at face value, you can't say no to them. I think there'll be a few points in it though. Storm will have a fair few, but wouldn't be surprised if you know, Jaden Campbell and AJ Brimson, they can really like create good stuff, and then also like I'm a bit surprised because I think the Titans played well when they had Foreign playing in their team the other week. So I wouldn't be overly surprised if AJ goes back to fullback, Foreign gets bored, and then they bring another person onto the bench to replace Foreign because. Yeah, I think that's just a better team, to be honest. Like, the group's still young. He's still, you know, and AJ is probably the best position is at fullback, where he can just use his speed and get out there. But I think you just can't say no to, you know, a full Storm spine. And I think I've got down here Storm 13 plus, Pappy, Nelson off the bench, impact play, nobody's stopping him. Maybe a little Dougie again. And then I've got a question mark on Philip Sami. Because you know how there's like that right edge, but then also Philip Sami and Brian Fafita always swap on me.
Bro.
So maybe I'll do Sami or Fafita to score 1+ try.
Sweet. As you said, Pep's in some form. What did he score? 4 tries or something like that last game? 50% strike rate versus the Titans, so I think he's a lock. And player that doesn't mind this matchup if he backs up is Cam Munster, scored 12 tries in 12 games versus the Titans. So
true.
If he's playing, I'll be on that at 325.
Juicy. Don't mind that.
Sweet. Cowboys Tigers. So I tell you what, this has been my favorite matchup for like the last couple of years. So the last 4 games, there's been over 70 points scored between these two teams. It's been mental. So there was that game where the Tigers spanked the Cowboys and then the Cowboys spanked them back. And then the last 2, it's been like 42, 30 something. So these teams love to score against each other. So it's fucking a punter's dream. And I'm all over Drinkwater. He scored 7 tries, 10 games against the Tigers. $2.10. I think it's good money. Probably my best bet of the weekend, to be honest. So I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm like even at Country Bank, I feel like Tigers do travel there well, eh?
Yeah.
So I've still got a question mark on who I want to back. I think, like at face value, the Cowboys should do it, but then with what's going on with the Tigers getting rid of Galvin and Heath Mason, who is usually their fullback playing in the halves. You know, I'm not going to write them off, and I think they could be one of the ones that. Because I'm assuming Tigers are, Cowboys are favourites.
Yeah, I think they are. Yep.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers upset them. I'm not too sure where the points will come from, but I wouldn't. I actually probably like both fullbacks to score. To be honest, I don't mind Buller.
Yeah, nice. Yep.
In that,
I think Buller's scored their last few matchups. To be honest, it's not a bad bet.
I like your stats, do you find them or do you just like?
They have a website, bro. There's a website called Rugby League Project. So if you jump on there,
you have to link me because I used to before I started the podcast 2 years ago, I used to get a big spreadsheet and I'd get every game match up, and then I'd do, because I watch all the games, I'll do all the try scorers and I'll put them in, but I'd put them in for like not their names, I put them in for the number, so it's positional. So it'd be like, and this is what annoys me, because like the positions and the numbers change around to whatever person. Car likes to wear number 5, but he's always on the left, but usually the left is the 2. So I would adjust, if Adam's car scores on the left, I'd have changed that to a 2. And then like if a back rower, pushes to the center but scores in the center position, then I'll change that to a 3. So like I would do that, and I'd have this big spreadsheet of like mismatches where people concede and people score, and sometimes they would match up, and it'd just be like perfect. And and honestly, I'd do this like 3 league multis, and it was so good. But it would take me like 6 hours a week of just spreadsheeting and shit. And then like as soon as I did the podcast, I was really excited to have all these bits. I had to do it every week and get bits out. I was like, I can't do my spreadsheet. So I just went back to kind of just like intuition and a bit of just like footy IQ kind of thing. But I loved it. And then every time you say these stats, I'm like, man, I miss doing this, my stats.
So this website, Rugby League Project, so I've just done Baller now, and you can see everything. Okay, so like I can see he's played 49 games, scored 18 tries. You can see the positions he's played, where he's scored. You can see how he goes against opposition players as well as opposition teams. So it's a main website.
That must be AI.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
but that's sick, bro. Definitely link that to me.
Yeah, I'll link you that,
please. So then I'll claim all the stats as my.
No, we had Rando on. That guy had his stats. That guy's stats are.
That's why, like when he first started, I remember like following him when he only had like 1,000 followers, and I'd chat to him every weekend, like, "Oh, that's a really good stat. Oh, nice. I'm like, I really like that one or something." And him and I used to chat all the time, And but because you got to love a good stat, because like stats are there, but then obviously stats come to an end, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sweet. Manly Broncos next game. It'd be an interesting game, mate. So no turbo, no gerbo.
No, only Burbo.
Yeah, only Burbo. the shittest of the 3.
The worst one. Sorry, Burbo. Sorry, bro.
For me, a bit of an interesting move. So they've named Jesse Arthurs at fullback, which brings a real good bet for me into play. Selwyn Cobbo has scored 6 tries in 3 games versus Manly. So he has 2 hat-tricks, which was the only 2 games he's played on the wing against them. He played 1 at fullback where he didn't score. So he's back on the wing. I think he's a great shout. Scored 2 hatties against Manly, so all over that. And was that?
Oh, sorry, Dad, you go.
The other one, Jason Saab, so $1.94 for him. He's just a try scoring machine. I think he'll be up against. Who would he be up against?
It'd be Mariner, I assume. I assume Cobbo will go back to his position with
I think so. Right?
So then Dane Mariner has played both wings in the past, and Dane Mariner's got so much speed. So I really like Cobbo. I just chucked him in there as mine. I think when you simplify Cobbo's game, he gets way better too. Being outside Stag and them linking up, especially if he's playing against. Actually, Collar's not too bad, but because Collar's fast, but Talau isn't overly fast either. So I think that'd be a good matchup for him to be able to outmuscle him, outspeed him. Yep. I like Dane Mariner. I think he's going to be really good. Broncos like to go left, hence why Jesse Arthurs is up there with one of the top try scorers. Yep. And I've never seen Arthurs play fullback, but I'm very excited to see him go. And I think if anyone can do it, I don't think he'll be flashy. I just think he'll catch the ball, run hard, and do the basics well, I think. So I wouldn't be. I'm not going to put him in for a try, but I also like Mam. So I think Mam scored on his first game. Confidence is still high, and against a really lacking Manly team, I just don't think. I think they might get down now and late in the second half, or maybe even broken play. Mam can just support,
for sure.
Get the job done.
I think Jesse got moved to fullback like 10 minutes of that last game. So we saw a small flash of it, and he was true. Just, as you say, run hard, fucking not flashy or anything, just like an Edwards type player, just gets in there, does the work. Yeah. So Yeah, it's
No,
going to be
that's-
exciting. Even though he's Voldemort now to us Kiwi fans, it's still
Yeah,
exciting.
that's right. Lenny hates him. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
He's dead to me.
Poor, because and it sucks so much. I really hope
Yeah.
they can change it all because I really like Jesse Arthurs.
Yeah,
I really
for
hope he
sure.
does represent New Zealand, but at least we'll get to see him full speed here,
Yeah.
flopping around. It's going to be good.
Is he still Kiwi eligible? So he's 19th. I think he's 20th man. So he's actually not
Yeah.
played for Queensland.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's still eligible, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to actually debut, I believe.
Yeah. Sweet. Next game. Manly. Oh, sorry, not Manly. Warriors Bunnies. It's gonna be a good game. I think Bunnies are actually. I was looking at this before. Bunnies are a bit of a bogey team for the Wires, eh? So
Yeah.
Wires have only won 2 of the last 10 versus the Bunnies, which is pretty interesting.
Oh, that's bad. I remember the last one when they came to New Zealand last year, and they had all these players out, and then they dicked us.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully again the boys don't take light. I really like that. Fisher Harris and Mitch Barnett are going to be playing. Definitely Fisher Harris, Mitch Barnett, obviously with Origin blanket. And then we welcome back Rocco Berry. I'd like to see Rocco Berry probably play 5 games in New South Wales Cup consecutively. We can't just keep letting him back in the team. Like he deserves to be in the team, but then he goes off injured. Like we're putting ourselves in a bad position because of his own injury clouds. Which sucks to say, but it's the reality. So hopefully he can stay fit and healthy. But it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a very gritty game as well. Like I think.
Yeah. I think the unders again. I think you've been tipping that a few times. The Warriors 12 and under. I think that could be on again.
Yeah, I think we very rarely win by more than that, eh? So I think that'll be my bet. And I fingers crossed. Latrell has such a blinder for New South Wales, and he plays so well. They just rest him, I reckon. He's just too tired. He's scored 5. No, actually, I don't want to say that either. He's won all my bets, and he just they rest him.
Yeah, no, for sure. Bit of a step for this one. AJ 80% strike rate versus the Wires. So loves the matchup at $1.92. Dallin, I think Dallin's he's definitely overdue. $1.88. I think Berry coming back for him is perfect. Berry loves a tip on pass, whereas Leotawa last week's kind of a run first mindset kind of player.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
for sure.
If Dallin's going to score, it's this game against AJ, who's a bit of a slower body. And then Metcalf, you just look at him play. He just gets so involved. He's so hungry to score. He scored a few tries this season already. I think he just has that knack for the line. He's a bit of a hamu though.
No, he definitely loves to run the ball, and that's why I always thought he was such a good 6 because he would just any opportunity to have a go, and that's just perfect. But he's developing into doing both really well, so I'm really happy with him. The Humphreys is going to be a tough matchup. I think this is going to be, especially with like Campbell Graham in the team, it's going to be a very even side.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Murata Niokore was one of our best last week, so I'm expecting him to back that up and have another big game.
Yep. I'm still waiting for this Tanner Boyd debut. I saw he just activated his clause to stay another year, so he's obviously keen to stay around.
I love that for him too. He's committed to the team rather than just jumping ship and cracking the shits. He just had a kid in New Zealand too, so.
Here we go. Future Kiwi.
He probably just doesn't want to move, uplift everything. So hopefully.
I think he's what the Warriors are missing though, like that kicking game. His kicking game is perfect.
Yeah, and that's it. And he's just such a good, he's an out and out, halfback, and that's it's hard because you want to keep developing Luke Metcalf, but I think Luke Metcalf and Tanner Boyd would be such a good hard pairing.
Yeah.
But then Chanel defends real well, so I can't.
He's almost a bit of. He's a bit of impact into Mighty, Chanel.
100%. I think absolutely Chanel would be way better utilised on that bench role because he can actually play hooker pretty well. He can dart out and he can tackle really. His defence is very solid and not just make a tackle. He can make dominant tackles, slow the ruck down, and make a difference. So,
sure.
But yeah. That Havili got me that try the other week. Got me first try scorer. So I really hope he doesn't do the same to us.
What do I call him? Aaron Clark from Timu. That's what he is, man.
Yeah, true. Hopefully Aaron Clark just shuts him down.
Sweet. Next game, Eels Panthers. This is another bit of a bogey matchup for the Panthers, I guess. The Eels, in recent history, have always been that team that pushes the top Penrith teams. So, be interesting how this one goes. Any thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be hard. Like I think what's going to impact my tipping is how everyone pulls up from Origin.
Yeah.
Because if there's any doubt on Moses, 100% I'm picking the Panthers. But if Cleary has some injury doubt, then I wouldn't be completely against picking the Eels because Eels with Lomax and Moses in it, they're just an exciting X Factor team where I don't know. I think without Nathan Cleary, I feel like they're kind of lacking a big X Factor where they kind of just they just go through the motions like without Nathan Cleary, like they're not. Yeah, I think everything's structured around Nathan Cleary's attack or shape. He always does that little short kick to Targo over the top. He does the crossfield kicks. He, organizes shit like this. Yeah, I just don't think I think they're missing a big element in their game. I just don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate Mitch Kenny. Fuck that guy.
He's a little grubber.
He bloody is. He always has been too. I think he's the most overrated hooker in the game.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I can get rid of him.
Sweet. A couple of stats here. So the Fox, 45% strike rate versus the Panthers at $2.10. Could be a good punt up against Thomas Jenkins, I think. So that could be a go. And Brian To'o scored 10 tries in 13 games versus the Eels. So loves the matchup.
True. That's a good one.
Sweet. Last game of the round. Best game of the round. Roosters Raiders. Tell you what, if the Roosters back up their performance, I hope a lot of teams this year when they perform like that, the next game it's like they've played their grand final and they've gone to sleep. So it'll be interesting what they do here. No Tommy Starling is huge for the Raiders, I think. He's been like one of their top players all season. So I think having Paddy there, that's a big loss for them. I'm pretty keen on the wonder kid, Nawakini Tawase. So he scored 8 tries in 7 games on the wing. $1.90, I'll be all over that. I think they'll be kicking for him all day against Tamale. Fuck Tamale.
Yeah, 100%. Let him land all over him, mate.
Xavier Savage has a 67% strike rate versus the Roosters. So he'll be up against Daniel Tupou. He'll do him for speed all day. And then on top of that, Tupou has 11 tries in 17 games versus the Raiders. So him at $2, he could be the kicking target as well. So that's good money. Yeah.
I kind of like with Robert Toya being quite young, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they did actually just rest him. I guess actually maybe because it's the Sunday game, he probably has the longest turnaround, so maybe not. But I still wouldn't be surprised because obviously how Marky Mark and it gives Dom Young another game, them together. And if Marky Mark's going to be the future of centre, then I guess they want to keep kind of giving him those opportunities to play every chance they can. So. I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a bit of a late switch, but either way, you kick to Marky Mark because he's just such an athletic.
Oh, for sure.
I still cannot believe rugby union let him go. Like, how silly do they get? They just let their best players go, and now they're trying to sign him back for like $700,000. What idiots! 1 year later.
I thought the loss of Sawali was huge, but he's kind of just stepped straight in that same. He's like a clone, eh?
Well, man, Roosters recruitment, like they need extra bloody credit because who's going and looking at Australia rugby union for players? Like you might look at like some fringe players, but who's looking at like the actual right wing for the Wallabies to come sign for their club footy? Like it's such a big recruitment, and then he's jumped straight in and fucking crazy. Good on him.
Yeah, I think if the Origin players back up, I reckon the Roosters have a real good shot at. I'll definitely be having a nibble on the upset here.
Yeah, I'll be making my tip a bit later. I did see a stat the other day that actually it wasn't a stat. It was just like a statement that the Roosters had like heaps of heaps of juniors because you know how everyone says the Roosters just buy players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they had. I think it was.
I think I saw that. Was that their team list of where they all came from?
Yeah, like Sanders Smith, Havila, Radley, Wong, maybe not Crichton. And I don't know a few other players, but it was pretty good to see. Like Docker Clay.
Yeah.
Docker Clay. But yeah, it's good to see because obviously they've been criticised for a long time. But now the Dogs are the new buying team, so
Fucking
lose that
coward.
title.
Sweet. That's us for NRL games. So what's your best bet? If you had to have one best bet, one value bet for the listeners, what are you taking?
Oh, good shout. Best bet. Best bet probably be Pappy. Pappy versus the Titans. I think you can't say no to him against any team, especially a team that's going through a bit of a. Oh, sorry to go away. Did you see the Storm signed that young guy from the Titans?
That's a massive signing, eh? Like
huge,
that kid's a freak.
Yeah, why does they always do that? Yeah, he's such a gun, and he was a captain of their like schoolboys stuff, and he just hasn't been able to get to his pinnacle. But I reckon he's such a good player, and the Storm were going to develop him so well. But yeah, sorry, Pappy will be my best bet of the weekend, and then my value bet for the weekend. I'm going to go Bronx, Dame Mariner, and Mam.
Nice.
Little same game multi. I don't even know what that is. Actually, I'm going to add Cobbo in there as well. I'm going the trifecta.
Yep. And Bronx one.
And Bronx, yeah.
Nice. For me, I'm going, as I was saying, I think that Tigers-Cowboys game, there's a lot of points in that game. So I'll be all over Scott Drinkwater at $2.10. Yeah. I think that's one of the better bets. 7 tries, 10 games versus the Tigers. And then bit of value, just because fuck Tamale. We're going Namakani Tawase to score a double on him, $4.20. He's had 2 doubles in his last 3 games. I think the last 2 games on the wing, he's had a double. So I think if he's staying on that wing, I think he screams a try. 8 tries, 7 games 100%. On the wing. So get on that.
Love that.
Sweet. I think it's us.
The stats always make it just more.
Yeah, they back it up, right? It's a little.
Yeah, that's right. Just so much more convincing.
It's like the ice with the whiskey.
That's right. It really does make a difference.
Yeah.
I just put my little same game multi value bet for the Bronx, Dame Mariner, Mam and Cobbo together, and I'm getting $10.50 odds. So not too bad. Not too bad
That's
at all.
Good value. Cool. I think it's us. So I'll be checking out. People will be listening to this maybe just before Origin. So if you are, up the Blues. If you're not, Blues won. Nice to know. Now up the Troll Mitt. I think we're both pretty keen on that. So
hard. He would be my best bet for the weekend outside of footy.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be an exciting round. Sweet.
Bloody oath.
So that's us.
Appreciate you having me, brother.
All good. Have you on again, I think.
Yeah, Kane. Kane, you know where I am.
Sweet.
Go. All right.
They hit the line. Ocean Park wanted to hit the wall too hard. It's a moment for heroes. Big throw. Johnson. Very elegant. 10 through funds. And now the greatest of them all, the Melbourne Cup.